Before the world started asking, who can stop Erling Haaland? That 15-year-old boy once played 16 matches for his hometown's first team without scoring a single goal. Last night, the final match of his first World Cup ended the same way, without him scoring. The 0 was the same, but the person behind it was not. Norway took the lead against England, but England equalized, then scored again in extra time. Haaland was taken off before the final whistle. He sat on the sideline, watching the final minutes tick away. His first World Cup ended on a night when he couldn't find the net. But this story didn't begin on the night England stopped him. It began in a small town in Norway, when no one had any reason to think about stopping him. That town was Bryne. Haaland began training there when he was around 5 years old. He grew up in a group of around 40 kids under 3 simple rules. Be on time, do your best, and behave well. Whether you were the best player in the group or number 40, the rules were the same. No one was treated as though they were already a star. But there was one thing about Erling his coaches saw clearly. He loved scoring goals. Whenever the ball hit the net, he would race around the pitch with his arms raised. But when he missed or failed to score, his frustration was impossible to hide. For him, every goal mattered. At 13, he moved up to play with boys a year older than him. Back then, Haaland was still thin. He didn't yet have the power the world sees today. When he couldn't win with strength, he had to win with timing. He had to start his run at exactly the right moment, see the space before it opened, and get there before the defender knew what was happening. At 15, he scored 18 goals in 14 matches for Bryne's reserve team. That form earned him a place in the first team squad. And immediately, everything changed. The players in his way were no longer boys his own age. They were grown men, stronger, more experienced, and better at taking away the space a striker needs. 1 match passed, then 5, then 10. By the end of 16 appearances, the goal still hadn't come. The boy who used to run with his arms raised whenever the ball found the net never got to do it, not once, for his hometown's first team. Bryne's coaches later described that period as an essential education. It taught him to sharpen his movement and showed him how physically prepared he had to be for the next level. At 16, he left Bryne and moved to Molde, a nearly 14-hour drive from home. He was young, away from his family, and waiting for his chance. That move took him to a level that demanded more from him. On July 1st, 2018, Molde traveled to face Bryne, the unbeaten league leaders. Against them, the boy who had gone 16 first-team matches without a goal needed just 21 minutes to score 4. That day made one thing clear. Those 16 goalless matches were not the final verdict on the boy from Bryne. He had grown stronger, with movement sharpened by years of training. 1 year later, at the Under-20 World Cup, Haaland failed to score in his first 2 matches. But in the third, against Honduras, he scored 9 goals as Norway won 12-0. It was the most goals ever scored by one player in a single match at a FIFA tournament. Norway still went out, but Haaland won the Golden Boot with 9 goals, all scored in 1 match. From there, everything moved faster. At Salzburg, he scored a hat-trick on his Champions League debut and 8 goals in his first 5 matches in the competition. At Borussia Dortmund, he came off the bench with his team trailing 3-1. Within 23 minutes, he had scored a hat-trick. Dortmund went on to win 5-3. Every time the stage grew bigger, the space became tighter and the opponents stronger. But the boy who once had to learn where to make his runs was reaching those spaces before everyone else, again and again. In 2022, he joined Manchester City. Many wondered whether what he had done in Norway, Austria, and Germany could be repeated in the Premier League. In his first season, he scored 36 league goals, the most ever in a single Premier League season. He scored 52 goals in all competitions and helped Manchester City win the Premier League, the FA Cup, and the Champions League in the same season. Later, he became the fastest player in Premier League history to reach 100 goals, doing it in 111 appearances. And he won the league's Golden Boot for the third time. The boy who once went 16 matches without scoring for Bryne's first team had become the striker who forced every opponent to ask the same question: how do you stop him? Then came the 2026 World Cup. Norway returned for the first time in 28 years. Before facing Brazil, Haaland had already scored 5 goals. Nearly 80 minutes of their round of 16 match passed without a goal. Then Haaland headed Norway into the lead. 11 minutes later, he scored again from outside the penalty area. Norway defeated Brazil 2-1 and reached the quarterfinals for the first time in their history. Haaland now had 7 goals in his first World Cup. Afterward, he stood before the Norwegian supporters, holding a drum. The players and fans sat down, stretched their arms forward, and began rowing together to the beat. The Viking row spread from the stadium to the streets, city squares, and screens around the world. Once, this boy had raced around with his arms raised after scoring on the small pitches of Bryne. Now, Norwegian supporters were rowing together to the rhythm he set on the drum. Then England stopped him. Norway lost 2-1 after extra time. Haaland didn't score and was substituted before the match ended. Not long afterward, at around 2 a.m. in Oslo, thousands of supporters were still in the streets. They sang, they lit flares, they marched toward the royal palace, and they performed the Viking row again. They weren't celebrating defeat. They were celebrating the belief this team had given them back. This is the other side of the standard Haaland has set. When everyone expects him to score, a night without a goal becomes headline news. Beyond the goals, what shaped Erling Haaland may have been something deeper than his hunger to score. It may have been the way he responded whenever a new level showed him that the player he was then was not ready for what came next. When strength wasn't yet his advantage, he learned to run smarter. When stronger men stood in his way, he built a body capable of competing with them. When the level rose, he didn't ask for the standard to come down. He went back and rebuilt himself to meet it. One result may show us what we are still missing today, but it does not get to decide who we are capable of becoming. At 15, the 0 beside Erling Haaland's name left one question hanging. Could he score at first-team level? Last night, the fact that he didn't score became headline news. The 0 was the same, but the man behind it was not. Human pattern stories. Erling Haaland.